Yo, 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 people. How's it going? How's it going? We win tomorrow. Come on, you Blues. Yes, sir. Hopefully, you win tomorrow. We're going to be discussing that and a bit of the news that came out from the press conference. But I'm glad to see you in here, bro. How's it going? Hope you're having a good one so far. Hope you're having a good one. I see we got 5 people in the stream so far. If you could hit that like button, that helps. Hit the likes. More people see the stream, more people can come in. So I greatly appreciate it. Don't cost you nothing. It's completely free. Completely free. So I would really appreciate that if you could. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, Maresca came out with the press conference quotes and stuff. So yo, KT7, how's it going, bro? Shout out to the 6 people. Yep, shout out everybody in here. I appreciate y'all. Again, hit the like if you haven't. We're gonna be getting into the press conference first, the quotes, and then in around 40-ish minutes, we're going to have a guest on the channel, Mikez, who is a West Ham fan. We're going to be discussing a bit, real quick about the game, probably like 30 minutes ish, real quick, because I don't want to have him on the stream for too long. Probably he's had a long day of being on people's streams. So, but yeah, we're gonna be discussing. We're gonna be discussing about the West Ham game. Get a perspective from a West Ham fan. Obviously, probably not the start of the season they wanted, but yeah, a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of stuff to go through. Also, I'm a man of my word. I am a man of my word. I said after Nkuku scored the goal for us to win against Bournemouth, I said I was going to make an Nkuku background. Lo and behold, here is the Nkuku background. There you go. There's the Nkuku background. I hope disaster doesn't start. Check Fofana comments. Yes, we will be going over Fofana comments. We're gonna be going over the Maresca comments and the Fofana comments, um, in the lead up to the game. So we will be talking about that. We are gonna be talking about that. Hey brother, real quick, are you available 12 UK time tomorrow? Hold up, let me see. 12 UK time tomorrow. 12 UK time. What is 12 UK time? 7 a.m. 7. 7 a.m. Wait, what? Isn't the game literally? Hold up. What time's the game at? The game is at. No, I'm not gonna reject. I need to know because hold up. I was gonna wait 7 p.m. No, it's not 7 p.m. You mean it's 7:30 a.m. So 7? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, okay. No, that works. That works. That works. That works. That works. I thought it was like, cause I don't know why I thought the game was at like 8:30 in the morning for me. So I was like, damn, 7? That's very early to wake up. But nah, if the game is at 7:30, I'm free for 7 for sure, bro. I'm free for 7 for sure. Don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You could chalk me in as a yes, 100%. That background is nuts. I appreciate it, bro. Again, I think something that I'm going to do to maybe motivate people to subscribe to the channel is I'll do this. Listen, I'll do this. This is what I'll do. When I get to 1K subscribers, I will release publicly in picture format. I mean after the game 7 p.m. our time. 7 p.m. Saturday? Yeah, it should be fine. I don't think I'm doing anything with my family. So I should be fine. Yeah, 100%. But yes, the background is fresh. I appreciate it. But yeah, 7 p.m. should be 100% fine. But I'm gonna do this. When I get 1,000 subscribers, I will be releasing one of the backgrounds of the public's choosing. I'll release it in picture format and in video format. So you got the Nkuku background, you got the Caicedo background, you got the Reece James background, and then you got the Palmer background. So when I hit 1K, I'll do a community vote, and I'll release one of these 4 backgrounds to the public. So get me to 1K. If you have not subscribed, subscribe on the channel. Wesley Fofana on the pitch is simple. I like Cole. He knows me, and every game is a little better. I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will bring up the quotes in a bit, real soon. Melon, bless up, man. Bless up, making a new channel. Airing recommendations before I start making videos. The only thing I would do before you start making videos is to make sure to do like a trial run. So if you're gonna be streaming, for example, or making videos, one thing I would do is just record yourself, video wise and audio wise, to make sure that the quality is good for the video, that the audio is good for the video. As for the content of the channel, that's completely up to you, brother. It's up to you to put yourself out there, put in the work, have the personality to do so. Um, but that's a big recommendation I would do. You don't want to like create a video, the audio is weird, or the video quality is bad. Like I would make sure that you do the best possible to have like the best quality. At least that's how I think about stuff. But yeah, I appreciate it. All right, but let's get a bit into the news. All right, let's get a bit into the news because again, we have gotten a lot of news recently. We've gotten a lot of news recently because of the press conference quotes. So I will be switching to the press conference quotes. All right, browser. Cool. Okay. So here we go. All right. So Maresca was late again. Proper Chels. Again, Maresca on Reece James. His injury is a bit delayed. The most important is that they come back when they are 100% fit, but he is still out. So again, they don't want to Yo, much love, Melon. Much love. They do not want to rush back Reece James, which is something that I've been saying the entire time. Right? I think Reece James, we need to cool it. If he's not 100% ready, then it's fine. I don't have to see him on the pitch. We don't have to see him on the pitch, so I'm completely fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. Again, more comments on Sancho, right? Maresca on Sancho. He's working hard on and off the ball. We use the international break to focus on him. He's doing well. So again, Sancho is doing well. You know, he's being integrated in the squad. Not really worried about that kind of stuff. Maresca says Enzo and Dewsbury Hall are back in the squad. Makes sense, bro. Makes sense. Again, you're just including something real quick. Because they only had an illness, so it might have been just a cold 1 week. They're fine. My God, I hate these damn early kickoff times for EST, bro. Yeah, it is for me. It's a 7:30 kickoff, bro. Crazy times. Maresca on Nkunku versus Jackson. Again, this is also a big call, right? We use Nkunku their last game. He's completely different to Nicholas, which is again 100% agreed, right? They're even if we play him as a false nine, they're different profiles, right? So it says Nico's a number 9, and Nkunku isn't a real number 9, right? He's a false 9. I'm so happy with the squad we have, not just them two. Nkunku doesn't like to play wide. He likes to play center. But sometimes to find a balance, he plays in a position that isn't the best for him, right? Pretty much saying, like, in terms of number 10s, in terms of the midfield, we are very much stacked. So Nkunku, to get playtime, we might have to put him into, into a position that is a striker on the wings that he may not necessarily enjoy, Don't start Enzo, play KDH and Caicedo. Again, we'll get into that. We got into that a bit yesterday as well. 2-1 Chelsea win, hopefully, brother. Also, shout out Mr. HD. Nice to see you in here. Jonathan, nice to see you too, brother. How's it going? How is it going? Again, we have 13 people in the stream right now. If 3 more of you could hit the likes, then we'll hit 13 likes as well. If Enzo doesn't start, we win comfortably. Big up, RSM. How are we? Hey, Lyndon, how's it going, brother? We're doing well. Doing blessed. We're gonna have a guest on the channel later, which is pretty cool. I enjoy having guests on the channel, so we're gonna be having that later. But yeah, pretty cool. All right, but yeah, just on the Maresca comments, this is kind of where we're at on the Maresca comments. Hey, Blue Line, big up, brother. How's it going? How's it going? All good, Lyndon. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Glad to hear that. Yeah, but again, James still injured. Sancho, international break, looking like they were just trying to get him up to speed. Enzo and KDH are back into the squad. Enzo's probably gonna start, as much as people might not want to see it. I think it's gonna have to happen. Malagusto is not fit. Malagusto is not fit for this match. Again, I think this new medical team does not want to risk any player coming back anytime soon. So again, Malagusto not in the squad. We have to now think, what are we going to do with the squad? That's something that we now have to keep in mind. All right, have to keep in mind. You hope we win. I'm tired of ownership drama. I'm also very tired of ownership drama. I'm very tired of ownership drama as well. I think wins, though, just getting in a winning streak, people stop caring about that type of stuff. I'm be honest with you. Once you start winning, people care less and less about that kind of thing. So, do you think Sancho starts? We're gonna get into that because again, Maresca's comments. It made me feel like maybe. It made me feel like maybe, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So, at least yesterday, I didn't think so. But after these comments today, yes. So again, Maresca talking about Reece James. It was unfortunate of when he doesn't have an idea of when Reece James is going to return. It seems like they were literally going to sub him out 65th minute, and he got injured in the 62nd and 63rd. So, it's unfortunate that that's the way that, the cookie crumbled. But, it is what it is. Maresca clarifies his attackers. So, left wing, there's Jaden, Misha. Right wing, we have Nani and Pedro. So, again, guys, this is basically Maresca saying, I see Pedro as a right winger. This is big news. Right winger. At the 10 we have Cole Joao, and as the 9 we have Nico and Christoph. So again, this is big. This is big news. So he's saying Pedro is not technically supposed to play on the left in his ideal system. So Maresca was asked about Josh Achimpong. Happy with how Maresca split the forwards. We got 2 for each position. Bar Mudryk, glad he sees Neto as a right wing too. Yep, and I just went over that. So yeah. So again, we're gonna get into a bit of the talk on the formation, but this was also big news as well. So we nearly brought Kudos before. We'll see, we'll see. All right, but yeah. So about Josh Ashenpong, and again, with these questions, I have to give credit to the person who asked them. So I want to give big credit to this account right here. I think her name is Ray. She does a lot of stuff in terms of talking with Chelsea at the press conferences, and I really enjoy the questions that she asked. So she asks questions that have to do with the squad. She doesn't ask about drama. She doesn't ask about a lot of BS, and she gets a lot of pushback. But to be honest, she asks about stuff that actually makes sense. And it says right here, right? Like, it's interesting. Some journalists don't like my questions. They don't see the point of very football tactic focused questions when we as media get stories. I think that's the issue. We need to get back to basics, what happens on the pitch. So again, I really appreciate her for asking questions that actually have to do with the game, that actually have to do with the squad, which is why I want to shout her out real quick with these questions. I'm just going to shout her out real quick. But yeah. So Joao is a 10. Yeah, apparently under Maresca's system, he sees Joao as a 10. He sees Joao as a 10. Also, he said players can play different positions, like in Kuku, center forward, winger. Yeah. And I imagine also with Joao as well and Cole as well, like, you know, we're very boom. Mudryk, bye-bye, you performer, you move on. 100%. And this is why I'm saying, like, Jaden coming in was the end of Mudryk. It was the end. It's over, bro. Astro, yo, RSM locked in. Yeah, what's up, brother? How's it going, Astro? Joao, Sancho, Palmer. I hear that. Joao, Sancho, Palmer is definitely doable. Definitely doable. But I just don't see. I just think he's gonna keep playing Cole centrally because I think he's gonna, if anything, again we're gonna get into it later. But with his codes, I have a slight suspicion that we might see Neto right wing, Sancho left wing, and Palmer in the middle. Good. What about you? I'm doing good, brother. No defense there, though. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right, hold up. So let's keep going with the quotes. Again, so he got asked about Josh Ashenpong, right? Which makes sense because Gusto, again, he announced Gusto is out for this match. He's still injured. He's still recovering, so it's not happening, right? So he says, I really like Josh. For me, potentially, he can be a top player and defender for the future. Now, with the young players, I like to modify them a little. Today, for young players, they can change very quick. They can think they are so good or bad. Again, basically saying young players are a lot more emotional, and they vary a lot more in terms of their performances, right? So he says, I want to put him into practice a bit more. I want to give him some game time, little here by here. So it's looking like Josh Ashenpong is probably not going to be a nailed-on starter for the right back position. So we're going to say his comments on Mudryk are interesting. Bro, these comments are pretty interesting. Again, pretty much saying Sancho is ahead of Mudryk for left wing 100%. Pedro Neto is actually a right winger in Maresca's like ideal world, right? So I wish Nkunku starts, but I see Maresca starting Jackson. Yeah, it's gonna be Jackson with these codes. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Again, and 100% is gonna be Jackson. Again, we have this season we use Nico up front. It doesn't mean we aren't going to use Kristoff or Mark, but we're very happy with Nico. Again, that's what I'm saying. This comment is basically alluding to the fact that it will be Jackson starting for this match against West Ham up front. It's gonna be Nkunku sub. EE, big up EE. How's it going, brother? Hope you're having a good one. Again, Maresca on Chelsea having 16 yellow cards, the most of any Premier League team. Fantastic. He laughs. Again, you just gotta laugh because at the end of the day, like, we have a ton of yellow cards, but so many of our games have been refed by Anthony Taylor, who's a clown, bro. He's a clown. So because Anthony Taylor is a clown, I don't, like, of course he's gonna laugh. Like, bro, this is all on Anthony Taylor. Like, he recognizes it's not necessarily on the players. It's just Anthony Taylor. Does this mean Nkunku is a bench player? He's a super sub as of now, right? As of now, I think he's a super sub. But if he keeps having these performances off the bench, he's gonna be a nailed-on starter. I'm telling you right now, bro. Again, Pedro Neto was playing left wing because Jaden wasn't here or wasn't ready, and I preferred Pedro over Misha for that game. That's what I'm telling you guys. So it's looking like Jaden left, Pedro Neto right. So it's looking on the right wing, it's Pedro Neto, then under him is Nani. Left wing is gonna be Sancho Mudryk. Right wing is Pedro Nani. It's looking like that's the way that the order goes. And Maresca wants top 4. Drop Enzo and play Viega and Caicedo. Gaffer. Drop Enzo and play Viega. We'll see. We'll see. Be like City. Don't have nailed on starters. Bar Palmer. Yup. Let the rest be hungry on the bench, ready to prove themselves. Thank you, Blue Line. I was talking about this yesterday. Like, I wish that Enzo had to fight his way back into the squad. I wish it wasn't a guarantee that he has to start game in and game out. I I just think it's a bit tough because again, even because this is a new coach, it's a new system. At the same time, you don't want to be chopping and changing too much because you do want the team to sort of get a bit of chemistry. So we'll see. Again, guys, by the way, here's the team photo. Very nice, very cool. It's looking like, by the way, we're gonna get captains in terms of um, Colwell, Reece James, Enzo, and Caicedo. It seems like these are gonna be the captain materials. I'm not gonna lie. It's like he's forced to play Enzo because of the price tag. He also just like also not only that, he gave him the captain's armband, which pretty much nails on the fact that like Enzo is gonna have to start for a vast majority of the games. Just returned home. Big up everybody. Hey, Morning Zombie, how's it going? Like and subscribe. Yeah, guys, let's see. We have 23 people viewing the stream right now, but only on 12 likes. Come on, guys. Why are we moving like Darwin Nunez in front of goal, bro? What is this conversion rate, brother? If I have 22 people watching, let's get the likes up. 12? Come on, bro. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up, people. That's the team photo. It doesn't look like 40 to me. We all knew it wasn't 40, bro. They're just chatting. They were always chatting. It was always a lie, bro. Big up, Zombie. Yup. Always a shout out to Morning Zombie, a real one. Enzo's a playmaker. He not declared Rose? What do you mean by that? Let's not forget how shit the passing into opposition half was in dog shit last game. Enzo has his uses too. Yeah, I think Enzo has his uses, but I wish Enzo had to prove himself in the way other players have to prove themselves and fight for their positions, right? But yeah, so here's the team photo. Again, not 40 people. Not at all gonna, like, not at all the way that the media made it out to be, but we already knew that in the first place. Looks like Lavi is still missing. Yup. Enzo is not Declan Rice. I got you. Yup. Imagine the situation: Pirlo playing as a cam and Kaká playing as a DM. That's the same happened with Palmer and Enzo. It is the manager's fault, not Enzo's fault. No, I hear you. I just don't want Enzo playing so far up. You know, I think that's what everybody said. He should be ready to do early subs if needed. Yeah, but he already does. He's done halftime subs, so you know I'm not too pressed about it. Let me refresh, see if there's anything else. If not, I'm gonna go on to a bit of the player quotes. I'm gonna go on to the player quotes for a bit. Nothing else? Okay, cool. Let's go on to the player quotes. Again, I'm gonna refresh. Alright, let me go on to some of the player quotes. Again, Wesley Fofana said, on the pitch, it's simple. I know Levi Colwell was a small injury for the media. It looks like it's not gonna be a long-term injury necessarily. But it seems like they're very cautious with putting him back into the squad. So there's that. But yeah, on the pitch, it's simple. I know Levi Colwell. He knows me, and every game is a little bit better. We don't need to talk too much. I feel good with him. He feels good with me. We are not just teammates. He's a friend, my guy. So again, it's, positive quotes, positive quotes. From Fofana talking about his relationship with Colwell. With Colwell. Let's see. So we're gonna start from the bottom here. Give me 1 second. Cool. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, so waiting until he's fit. It's a bit delayed. The most important thing for them, are they back 100%? Reece is still out. So Reece is still out for now. I need Jackson to score tomorrow. I don't want to see the sassy right back. No thanks. I don't think it's gonna happen. So again, Enzo Fernandez is back. KDH is back. Reece is still out. Enzo Maresca speaking on Nkuku and Jackson battling out. Again, they're using Nkuku. Crystal doesn't like to play wide. He likes to be in the center of the pitch. We know that, but sometimes find a balance. He plays in the position. Again, and we said this before. Like, for the City game, Nkuku out wide, it just isn't it, bro. Nkuku out wide is not it, bro. Enzo Maresca on the pack schedule. Yes, no doubt. They are playing too many games, which, again, it's crazy the amount of games that these players are playing. Enzo Maresca has asked us a solution to the pack schedule. In terms of games, it's too much. We do not protect players. The only one that can do something is the players. We can help them. I think in the last 2 weeks, some of the players have explained what they think, and I think it's a good starting point. And again, we are managing the minutes. You look at the way that we are not even playing Palmer at all in terms of the Conference League, right? He's not in the squad. We're not going to be playing him there. It's a start because, again, we have to manage our star players' minutes. We don't want them to pick up injuries. It's going to be a very long season for us, especially considering the Club World Cup. We are going to be going towards a very long season. Did you see Maresca's quotes? He said Neto right wing and Sancho Mujic left wing. Yes, I did. I went over that. And again, Esmer's gonna quiet week has been great. Also, the previous one, I tried to live every week and every day in the same way. Focus on things I can control. My focus is on training sessions and games. Again, yeah, it's been a quiet week. No crazy news, nothing. Esmer's on Reed's time scale. They don't have an idea at the moment in terms of injuries in the past. We always hope we can find solutions. In this case, has been very unlucky because we planned to change him after 65 minutes and he got injured in the 62nd, 63rd minute. Very unfortunate. Again, Malagusto is not fit. However, he was at the training. He did do training with the team, but he's not match fit. They want to be very careful. Enzo Maresca, I think the defense we had before could do it. Tosin, Fofana, Kowo. Again, it's going to be Kowo, Fofana, Cucurella with Viega in the midfield is what I potentially think is going to happen. I pray Lavia around tomorrow so of Enzo fuck up. Again, I don't know. Lavia might be maybe on the bench. We'll see. That means Sancho is starting from his coach tomorrow. 100%. Yes, 100%. Like my lineup is gonna change, and we're gonna get into that in a bit. We're gonna get into that in a bit before Mike comes through. If Enzo doesn't do well, take him off. Yep. Please, 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 no Disasi right back ever again. Andrew Lee, nice to see you on the channel. 100%, bro. Never again. I don't want to see that brother. I don't want to see that brother, bro. That was disastrous. So I don't think we're gonna see it. I think Maresca saw him get cooked. Maybe Minetto will start too. I do think so. I have to revise the squad that I had yesterday. Again, okay. Enzo Maresca on his attacking options. Hopefully, I can clarify. Boom. As a left winger, we have Jaden and Misha. So he's putting them in order. Jaden is a starter. Misha is the sub. On the right, we have Nani and Pedro. So again, Pedro for me is gonna start. Nani on the bench. As a 10, we have Cole and Joao. So again, Cole, Joao. And as a 9, we have Christoph and Nicolas Jackson. So that's the way that he has lined things up in terms of the positions in the squad and who's subbing in for who. Josh Ashipong, I already know over them. Again, Enzo Maresca Mudryk, how can he still be developed with little minutes? Training sessions is the only way to improve players. He tries to improve them every day with some of them doing extra sessions at the end. Misha is one of them. So again, he is giving Misha a lot of attention, trying to get him up to standard. Again, if Misha doesn't improve, especially with the Conference League games that we have coming up, especially with like a Barrow game, right, where I'm sure he's going to start against Barrow type thing, right? If he doesn't do well in those games, it's looking like January. You got to learn, you got to go somewhere else, bud. Hot take, Fofana won't play against West Ham. It will be Levi, Tosin, Disasi. That is a hot take. That is a very hot take, considering that I think the person who literally gave the comments for this press conference was Fofana. So, a bit rough. We could use Nkuku as a right forward, similar to Nani versus Wolves. I think we could. My concern is I think we could do a lot of things. Our players are very versatile. The issue is what is Maresca going to do, and I don't think it's too likely that Maresca is going to do that. Fofana must play. No chance he is dropped, lol. That's what I'm saying. Like, I as much as we all really like watching Tosin, it's going to be Cole Fofana. Enzo Maresca on Jackson this season. He's doing very good in the training sessions and then in the Premier League. City was very good, and then he scored against Wolves. Palace, until the end, he was fighting. He did well against Bournemouth. He missed a few chances, but that doesn't mean he is not playing well. So again, Enzo Maresca really likes Jackson, guys. Like, he really likes Jackson. At every given opportunity, he's talking very well about Jackson. Fofana has 2 yellow cards in 2 games. No, don't play Disasi. No thanks. Definitely not. I think our lineup will be Nkuku, Sancho, Palmer, Neto. That's my take. I don't think Nkuku's starting. Again, I don't think Nkuku's starting just based off the way he keeps talking about Jackson, bro. I think, unfortunately, I agree, though, it's going to be Sancho, Palmer, Neto. I agree with that, 100%. So again, Enzo Maresca on Nkuku / Jackson. Christoph last season was injured. This season, since we started, the way we play, we have used Nicholas, but it doesn't mean we are not going to use Mark or Christoph as a 9 in games. In terms of numbers, last season and this season, it's already important numbers. AKA being like, in terms of the numbers that Nicholas Jackson is putting in so far this season, he's on a good track, right? He's on a solid track in terms of goals. So they're not too worried about it. But again, in games where, for example, we want to break a low block, I do like Christoph as a false 9. A little bit more than Jackson. As a Maresca on the number of bookings, Tosin is our fastest defender. He will be used to cover for Disasi. Fofana can't be dropped, otherwise he'll lose confidence. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Again, I think it's gonna be Kowo, Cucurella, Fofana in the back 3, Viega inverted in midfield. Okay, so I don't think it's a discipline problem at all. The Bournemouth game was this kind of game where, because of the pitch in the game, you are required to make some fouls. The day after, I watched Arsenal and Tottenham, and in the first half there were 7 or 8 cards. Basically saying like, bro, it's not a Chelsea problem. It's the refs. It's the refs being awful, which I agree with. So again, Wesley Fofana talked as well. On the pitch, it's simple. I know Levi Colwell. He knows me, and every game is a little bit better. We don't need to talk too much. I feel good with him. He feels good with me. We are not just teammates. He's a friend. My guy. My brother. So that's how he feels about that, you know? Doing well on that end. Okay. Wesley Fofana on Enzo Maresca. We have a lot of meetings and watch a lot of videos to see the plan. We started in preseason. First training session, first training session of the season, he told the team what he wants, and it is good. The style is good for the players we have. It's offensive football. It's very good. So it's nice, bro. It's nice. I like it. Again, the players enjoy Maresca's system, bro. Like, they're actually talking about his tactics and that they enjoy his tactics. They enjoy the way that he coaches. Bro, that was never said about Poch. I'm be real with you, bro. My brother, that link up. Yup. Big West, relax. You play right back. That's what I'm saying, bro. It'll be good. In the back three. In the back three. It'll be fine. That's what I'm saying. The fact that they made Fofana come out and give the quotes pretty much confirms to me that Fofana will be starting. He's not getting dropped, right? At least for me. Again, we'll see Fofana on Enzo Maresca. When you want to win titles and want to win every weekend, you focus on the little details. This is the difference between a good team and a big team. He explains every day in training that the little details are very important. So that's big, bro. That is very big in terms of what we are seeing from the players and what we are seeing from Maresca. That's why I have confidence in Maresca that these little details that we see in games, the little things that we see that maybe upset us, he's picking up on it. And that's why I think we're not going to see Disasi again. I think the Disasi experiment is done. It's over with. It's cooked. And I think the last game, like, Maresca shows me as a coach that he learns. So there you go. I never heard film talk on their Poch. Nah, bro. You think they did film, bro? He just had them running. Where Poch is a fraud? LOL. Yeah, bro. Exactly. And this kind of proves it. But yeah, pretty much that is the quotes on that. That's the quotes on that, bro. That is pretty much the quotes on that. Big up RSM. I agree with everything except Viega in the midfield. Big up Jojo. How's it going, brother? One thing. Let me check. So we are at 17 likes. If we can get the likes of people, if you haven't liked the video, I greatly appreciate it. But yeah. So who would you put in the midfield then, Jojo, if you don't agree with Viega being the inverting player? So what would your backline be? He learns from his mistakes. Many positives from Maresca. Exactly. I like he not only learns from his mistakes, but Maresca has shown that he's willing to make very quick halftime substitutions if a player isn't performing well. No issues. Hopefully we get maximum points in the recent games. Yep. Do you have a guest? Yes, I will be having a guest on in around 14 minutes. In around 14 minutes, we are gonna have Mikez, a West Ham fan, on the channel, so he can give us a little bit more insight about West Ham, how they're doing. To have a conversation. So again, keep an eye out for that. In the next 14 minutes, Mikez will be coming on the channel. But yeah, so that's where we're at, people. And Julie, let's see. Enzo has been getting a lot of hate. He hasn't been that bad this season. Rivals and our own fans keep laying on him. Yes, he must improve, but so does Caicedo, and Lavi needs to just get back on the pitch. I agree. I just think the issue with Enzo is that he, unlike I think Caicedo has been very solid, but I think Enzo has had games where he hasn't been at his best and what we expect from him, and that has been since last season. So I think Caicedo has a lot of goodwill from how he ended the season last season. I don't think Enzo necessarily has that. And I think that's where the issue comes up. I hope we beat West Ham. Man, West Ham fans is saying they don't fear us. I hear that, bro. I heard them saying that. But again, I wouldn't say... I would say that, like, in terms of West Ham, bro, like, obviously, like, we have not gotten good results from West Ham recently, but I still believe that we're able to get a good result. I'm here with you, bro. Like, West Ham have not started off well. Again, I think Mikez is going to get into that, right? They have not started the season maybe the way that they wanted to. So I'm hopeful. I'm at least more hopeful than last season. Like, last season, bro, that was an awful game. I wouldn't say Caicedo. Only Caicedo been solid. Sometimes he looks shaky in his decision making. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the midfield, the best performer so far has been Caicedo because he's actually been available, right? I think Lavia has had a better performance, but I think he's only, like, played one game, really, so it's unfortunate. I see CO scoring first. Who's CO? Cole? Do you mean Cole? Cole Palmer's going first? We'll see, man. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, let me bring up the potential lineup because I think I gotta make changes to it based on the thing. So here, I'm gonna switch screens. I say Enzo so he can get more used to the system. I got hope he can get back to making crazy passes, but definitely not in the 10, in the pivot rather. I agree. I don't want to see Enzo far up on the pitch. I think everybody has disliked that. Palmer, yes, yeah. Cole Palmer. Caicedo is a second half player. I think Caicedo, not necessarily is a second half player because I think, for example, at the end of the season, he was given consistent 90-minute performances. I just think Caicedo is one of those players that takes a while to get to like match fitness and match sharpness. I think he takes a minute. So I think once he gets more games under his belt, we're gonna see consistent 90-minute performances like we saw last season. All right, hold up. Let me get into the players. So with this lineup, based off of his comments, bro, it's looking like we might see Nani on the bench. It's looking like we might see Neto here on the right, and then we might see Sancho on the left. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking like it might be this. Maresca learns from his mistakes very quickly. That's something that I really like about him. I really like that he does. I really do. Madueke for Neto, Sancho on the left. Yep. Just based off the comments that I got, that's what I'm thinking. I need Sancho to do his job. Yep. I believe in Sancho. I really do. Like I have stocks invested in Sancho. I do. But it's probably gonna be this. I'm real with you. It's probably going to be this. Again, I saw somebody disagreeing with Viega. So again, if you don't think it's gonna be Viega, I'd love to hear who you think it's gonna be. Love to hear it. And again, gonna take the opportunity. We got 26 people in here, but we're only on 18 likes. Can we at least get to 20 likes? 2 more likes, people. 2 people who can hit the like button who haven't. I'd greatly appreciate it, y'all. Really would. What do I feel like Mudryk might start? There's no shot, bro. There's no way Mudryk starts. If anything, Mudryk's gonna be subbed on. There's no way he starts though. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. Maybe Tosin and Fofana would be in for Viega. I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be with you. I don't. Anything is possible. Yeah, true. I mean, anything is possible. I just don't. I don't know if Fofana has even practiced at all in terms of inverting into the midfield. I mean, Fofana and Cole have both. I think Cole more than Fofana though. Cole, like I think last game against Bournemouth, he made that one run that he just like ran. Cole like took the ball here and he just like ran in a straight line here and then like passed the ball to Nicholas Jackson. Um, but Cole was just gonna be playing like right here in the dead center. So again, we're gonna have to see how that goes. Well, I think Viega's Z because Enzo's on the pitch. I think Tosin central, Cuckoo left. So then who are you benching? Fofana or Colwell? Billy G. Who are you benching then? Fofana or Colwell? Fofana also ran up to the attack. That's what I'm saying. Both of them did. So maybe it is true that he might invert Fofana. I don't know. I just think we're gonna see Viega again. I'm not gonna lie. Levi, Tosin, Disasi. You can't really play Viega as a right back for the first time against Kudus. It is more reverse in Disasi. Now Viega, it's not gonna be Viega. Viega's gonna be inverting. So most of the time it's going to be Fofana, defending in that area. By the way, why did Maresca only just start inverting Cucurella against Bournemouth? He was obviously great again back in that role. That does not favor Gusto. I hope when he gets back, Cuckoo stays inverted. No Gusto. I agree because I think Gusto can invert, but I really like Gusto down the flanks. Me personally. Me personally. Um, but we shall see. And I think it might be a thing where maybe Maresca likes Cucurella defensively more than he likes him offensively, and he likes Gusto more offensive than defensive. Again, it comes down to the coach, but we'll see. If you watch West Ham this season, we could easily break through the defense with a through pass with a pacing winger like Mudryk. But we could also, in that sense as well, break through them with Neto on the right, right? Like we have Neto on the right here. We could also break through, no, Gerald? Also, I think it's the first time I've seen you on the channel, brother. Nice to see you here for the first time. Mudryk can use his speed for handing out water bottles. If there's an injury, he can run back and forth to call for the medics. Oh, Jojo, that's hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. To be honest, I rate Viega highly, so I don't know. I like many variants. I think that's the one thing, Morning Zombie, that we can definitely say about our squad. And something that I like about our squad as well is that we are highly adaptable in terms of the players that can play in different positions. Cuckoo will invert in the back three will be Colwell, Tosin, Fofana, I'm guessing. Colwell, Tosin, Fofana, Cucurella inverting. Ah, I see. Okay, so you're saying Viega on the bench. You're saying Cucurella inverting. You're saying what, Tosin like this. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying, Billy G. I got you. So you're saying it's gonna look something like this. Okay, I hear you. Last game we played in a 3-3-4 shape. I think we see the same thing. Again, it really, it depends. Um, how he wants to set up against West Ham, because we've seen, for example, instead of this square midfield, sometimes he has also played more of like a diamond shaped midfield, right? He's played more of a diamond shape sometimes, where it kind of looks like, something like this. Hold up. There you go. It looks something like this, right? It's more of like a diamond right here. Um, but I think for this game we're probably gonna see something like this, right? Palmer over here on the right hand side because he likes that. Enzo pushed further up here. Sancho here. It's gonna be interesting to see if Enzo gets back in the squad, to see how Enzo and Sancho link up. That's the best lineup. I don't like it because that's Enzo running again. Um, hmm. I mean, I think that's the issue that I also said with Enzo. I think in terms of offensively, as a deep line playmaker, Enzo offers a lot. I just think in terms of physicality and defending, I think he's suspect. I think he leaves a lot of work for Caicedo to do in the midfield. And I really noticed in the games where Enzo plays, I think it's very obvious. By the way, I don't know what you guys think about it, but I think it's very obvious when you look at the games that Enzo plays with Caicedo. You see Caicedo getting absolutely gassed by the end of the game. That doesn't really happen when Caicedo is playing with somebody else in the midfield. He doesn't get as gassed as quickly as he does when Enzo's playing. I'm be real with you. Enzo will be in that role regardless, unless Caicedo is the one inverting for fullback, because Caicedo is playing. Yeah, Caicedo's 100% playing. 100% he's playing. And I think Enzo's back, unfortunately, because he's like the captain after Reese. So you don't have to run. To be honest, why are we acting like KDB don't play the exact same role as Enzo? Is he a runner? No, he's not a runner. But the issue is that in terms of defensively, Enzo gets ran by a lot, and that leaves a lot of work left to do by Caicedo. I'm not saying he isn't necessarily a runner. I just think in terms of the midfield, the balance, he's him and Caicedo. I don't know, man. Like for whatever reason, I don't know. You switching it back to Viega or keeping this? KDB is not bad off the ball. Yep, he's not. Okay, but again, this is just one possible thing. Again, for me personally, I don't think Tosin starts. I'm gonna agree with you guys. Like I said before, I think we're probably going to see this again. If I have to be honest, I think we're seeing this again. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Gerard, the problem is KDB has two workhorses next to him, while we have one. Yeah, and that's the issue. That's what I'm saying. When I look at, and again, you guys can look at the games that have been played. Um, KDB, I don't think is great off the ball, in my personal opinion. I think he isn't the worst off the ball that I've ever seen. But he's not great, and I think that Pep knows that, and so he has people in the midfield that do a lot of work for him. But even then, he doesn't necessarily need to be a runner that much because they set up really well positionally to the point where they don't necessarily need runners. Um, but for me, yeah, it's just Caicedo gets gassed every time he has to play with Enzo in the midfield. So we'll see with Viega. Maybe Viega offers that balance that Caicedo needs as a partner in the pivot, but we'll see. KDB is horrible off the ball. Uh, let's not play that game. KDB has long legs to cover ground, and number 8 should be able to play up and down. It's Lampard's shirt as well. And there you go. But for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, he wants to play Enzo as a box-to-box midfielder, but I think Enzo strays too far forward at times and doesn't track back quickly enough to help Caicedo when we lose the ball or in transition. And I think it's unfortunate because I think offensively, Caicedo and Enzo, I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. But I think defensively, we've seen that it can be very frail. Very frail. Rodri is the best DM in the world. KDB doesn't need to be good off the ball. Enzo wouldn't either with Rodri. Rodri is the best DM in the world. KDB doesn't be good off the ball. Enzo wouldn't either with Rodri. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. But that's what I mean. Like, they not only is Rodri best DM in the world right now, you can also add in the fact that Pep's system is so ingrained. Everybody's always in the right position to the point where they are very rarely necessarily spending 90 minutes just running. So that's something to think about. Enzo is a runner as well. He's a workhorse. He presses all the time. We see him multiple times leading the press. It's not his fault. It was Poch system. All right, people. By the way, I'm going to. Mikez is here now. So again, I'm gonna be introducing Mikez to the stream. So I'm glad he's here. All right. Boom. Yes, sir. All right, people. Again, this is the first time guest on the stream. I really appreciate him coming onto the stream. Mikez, how's it going, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was going over again. Maresca came out with a couple of quotes. Kind of elucidated a bit of what we were thinking about. Um, in terms of who's gonna play on the wings. So it's been interesting. But again, definitely want to talk about West Ham with you. To get your kind of perspective, because again, looking at it, again, I watched a couple of West Ham channels and them doing their previews. Um, Talk to me about the form coming into this game and the season so far.
Yeah, obviously it hasn't been great. The one game we won was against Crystal Palace, and we just hit them on transition both times, which we have the players for that. But the whole point of bringing this manager in was to show a bit more than that, playing through the lines with the possession-based players that we have.
Yeah.
I think, like with the form that we've had, like obviously don't get me wrong, we have had a tough start coming up against Aston Villa and Manchester City.
Yeah.
But we actually played the best against Manchester City rather than Villa, Palace, or Fulham.
Mhm.
With Fulham, we were very lucky to get a goal right at the end. Very lucky. Like, they outplayed us. With Aston Villa, they tactically outdid us. So Emery usually tactically outdoes Julian Lopetegui as it is. And the problem is with Lopetegui so far is the team selections so far. The team selections that he's pretty much picking the same off-form players that played last season. And that's been the major red flag for me. If he does the same thing again in this game, I feel like I'm going to see what I've been seeing all season. Like with the likes of Mavropanos playing over Todibo is weird to me. With the likes of Thomas Suchek playing, it's just I don't get it with the midfield options that we have. And Mikel Antonio hasn't been great. He's been the main striker so far because obviously Nicholas Fulkrug, I guess he was trying to ease him in, and then he went on international duty, got injured after he scored, like after the game that he scored in, which is kind of bad because he's a doubt for this game, and so is the likes of Emerson, unfortunately, which puts Vladimir Sufal into the pecking order, which I think a lot of people had expectations of us because of the transfer window. I said it wasn't going to click straight away. I said it was going to take time, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. I didn't think the manager was going to have all of these players that he has at his current disposal and still be picking off-form players.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a bit unfortunate because I think Fulkrug would have been a good add, especially because I think Antonio's had not a great start to the season. Like again, I think he's on like 0 GA at all, like just pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Which I think is unfortunate because definitely with the way that I think Chelsea has been looking defensively, having Antonio firing on all cylinders would have been a good thing for West Ham. So again, speaking on like key players, then who do you think is going to be like if West Ham were to try to get a result out of this, right? A win at home. Who do you think would have to show up or put in a performance in your team for you to be able to get that result?
Well, for me, obviously, Jared Bowen, first one that comes to mind, because Jared Bowen not only does he love a London derby, he loves a big game. He usually turns up in this fixture. For me, he's the one that's going to come with the goals. Mainly, he's the goals in our team. The problem is, I think he's been heavily misused in our team because he's been hugging the touchline a lot. I think that's an instruction by the manager because the underlapping run is from our fullbacks, whoever's playing on the right, whether it's Sufal or Wan-Bissaka. Bowen isn't that type of guy.
Bowen on the touchline.
Yeah, Bowen on the touchline. That's not good, man. You want it, like when we scored against Crystal Palace, like he cut into the channel and smacked it. Like not many people can defend against Bowen when he's in that position and finding a goal from there. But that's what's been hindering him specifically. I think it's going to be him. It's going to be like Paquetá creating something. He's the most creative player in our team.
Yes.
He hasn't started well, don't get me wrong, but he's the only one that can find a certain pass that nobody else can.
I mean, listen, he had a game against us last season, you know, when we lost 3-1, so...
Yeah, he worked his ass off for that one. Like, when we went down to 10 men, he was doing double running. Like,
Jesus Christ,
he was insane for that game. Like, I can't believe when we went down to 10 men, Jesus Christ, we needed everyone to just run as fast as possible
Mhm.
and just cover every bit of distance. And he was doing that. And that's the thing. Like, if he's on it, I'm confident. But you never know with him. I think
Yeah.
with I think the main, obviously Mohamed Kudus, special footballer.
Oof.
He can
Yeah.
turn a game on its head, but the problem is he's been playing on the left. Another player that's been misused by the manager. You don't
Mm.
want Kudus on the left. You want Kudus in the middle or on the right, cutting in or getting
Yes.
into spaces like that, where he can take on 4 players at the same time and create spaces for other players because there's 4 players on him. But
I hear
he
you.
hasn't been on it many from the manager. Is misusing him for me. The best part about this team is the defense so far. Like, despite the fact that we had a defensive manager
Yeah.
last season, we've actually been more organized. Like, with better players, of course, but it only made sense because playing higher up the pitch and a bit more compact has allowed us to concede less goals.
Mhm.
Well, like less chances, really. I think most of the fact that we've conceded shots is because of we've lost the ball. We've been hit on the turnover quite a lot, and I think Kilman and Wan-Bissaka have been very key as well. So I put my full trust in them to perform well tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Do you see then? Do you see Lopetegui being the type of coach then to make the changes that you are talking about? Then, this game you start to tell Bowen to stop playing on the wing, maybe giving Kudus more of a opportunity to play more centrally, or do you think he's going to just stick to his guns and play the same he has been since the beginning of the season? Because again, if he sticks to his guns, unfortunately, so far it's proven that it's not necessarily brought the results that you would have expected, especially considering the transfer window that you guys had. I think you were probably one of the most hyped up teams coming out of the transfer window. But it's not turned out that way. Do you see Lopetegui then taking this as an opportunity to try to switch things up and turn it around?
Do you know what it is with these managers, like, which is managers in general? They're quite stubborn as it is. But I remember, like, in the Fulham game, like Antonio and Thomas Suchek shouldn't have started,
Mm.
but they both got taken off at half time because he knew something was wrong, and Paquetá Somerville came
Yeah,
on.
Antonio
But
and
that's the thing.
Suchek, 46th minute. Yep,
Yeah,
I see
that's the
that. Yeah.
thing. Like, if you address the fact that you made a mistake, I expect you to drop them for this game. I don't think he will. Is my problem. I don't
Mm.
think
Okay.
Antonio will be dropped. I think Suchek will be dropped because I think we'll go with the same game plan as we did against Manchester City. Play 2 holding midfielders in Alvarez and Rodriguez, and I think we'll go with that. Probably,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Kudus on the left will still happen because he's convinced for some reason that Kudus is a left winger, but when you're only allowing him
he's
to be
he's not, bro.
direct,
Yeah.
no, he's not. And Bowen isn't a touchline winger either. Like, he can only, if he's going to start on the touchline, he's going to cut in.
The thing is
He's going to
like,
cut in and just shoot.
yeah, it's just frustrating because I think with both Bowen and Kudus, if you force them to start playing just like touchline wingers, you're taking away aspects of their game that is what makes them the players that they are. Is why people
Yeah,
are afraid of them. Like, you're just
yeah.
asking them to be so one-dimensional, and I think that's a
Oh yeah.
detriment to your team overall. I think it's a bit. Also, Solomon, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, bro. Proper Chels, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Big up, Solomon. Yeah, big up. All right. So here, let me get to the potential lineup real quick. Boom. All right. So, is that what you think your lineup is gonna look like then? Something like this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think so
Unfortunately,
because
what changes would
yeah,
you make
because
then, if you could?
Tadibo has to start instead of Mavropanos. Mavropanos, he's one of them players where
So,
he can give you a good game once in a while,
okay,
but he's a squad player at max. Like, he was the big reason why we even conceded against Fulham, and he
got you.
just left all that space for Smith Rowe to run in behind.
Mhm.
He put in a really good performance against Crystal Palace, but with the Man City game, he literally ran with the ball, gave away the ball, and then Erling Haaland runs it behind and scores the third one, which killed off the whole game for me.
Yeah.
And I think he has to be changed. I don't think he will be
All right.
dropped.
So
But
you would play Todibo instead. This would be like your, because
yeah,
I want to get your lineup. This is the most likely
yeah,
lineup, right? But you would do this
yeah,
then.
yeah. I would do that.
Okay.
Obviously, let's say Emerson was fit, I'd start him instead of Sufal. But
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
isn't,
yeah.
then we haven't got any choice. Like, if I wanted to sign out Sufal and Cresswell to start this game, like, I wouldn't care at this point. I would flip a coin because neither of them are that reliable.
I hear
Um,
you.
with the midfield, I would play Paquetá deeper next to Alvarez.
So
I
you do
would
this,
play,
and then what?
yeah,
Okay.
I'd play Kudus in the 10, and I'd play Somerville instead of Rodriguez.
Okay.
Uh,
So
I
wait,
think,
so
like,
Rodriguez gets sent to the bench then.
yeah, it's not even because of because he's bad or anything. We just need our best players on the pitch. Like
Okay.
he was signed for a squad player. Alvarez is back now. We don't need him.
And you said you'd put Somerville here, where Kudus was?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think Antonio doesn't deserve to still keep his place. However, he's gonna have to, because Danny Ings is clearly more of an impact off the bench.
Yeah.
As we've seen against Fulham, and Fulkrook isn't fit. If Fulkrook was fit, I'd say Fulkrook should start. I'm gonna assume he's gonna be on a bench for
yeah.
because he's only 50-50. But that would be the lineup I would line up with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's probably... I agree with the Danny Ings being off the bench. I think especially if this becomes a very, physical game, right? And you bring Danny Ings on tired legs. I think, unfortunately, our defenders have shown, like, they're willing to switch off when they're tired. And especially, like, our midfield. I mean, you look at the City game, right? You look at what, like, Kovac did, just ran by Caicedo, ran by Enzo. Like, if you completely retired, you just, like, sometimes we get completely ran through, unfortunately. I think in a place like that, like, yeah, I agree. Like, Danny Ings off the bench is something that, like, I have in mind. A lot of people aren't talking about it, but, like, I know that's something that I have to keep in mind. For sure. Me personally, at least on the Chelsea side, I think Maresca gave comments today pretty much saying, like, Sancho is a left winger, Neto is a right winger, which is why, like, I changed my lineup. I think we're going to see Sancho on the left, Neto on the right, which I think is something that a lot of Chelsea fans, including myself, talked about with the Bournemouth game. Is for the Bournemouth game, we had in the first half we had 2 direct wingers, and that kind of limited the way that we played. Like, it seemed like Bournemouth's game plan, they planned for having 2 direct wingers, and their defense set up that way, and we were completely mitigated on that end. That's why when Sancho came on, a winger who's a lot more like touch and go, likes to do 1-2s, but can also be direct. They were kind of caught off guard because that was not in their game plan. Yeah, so I think for me personally, it's also going to come down to, I think for both of us, right? Because, again, Antonio has not been doing that well this season. Jackson is very well known for, missing big chances. It might come down to, the midfield battle and how that turns out, to be honest. Because I think both of us have the ability to be solid defensively. Again, we somehow got a demonic clean sheet against Bournemouth. No clue how that happened. But in terms of the mental of the players, that's good for them to actually get a clean sheet on the board. So I do think it's going to come down to the midfield battle. And see, the midfield that you put up here, this midfield worries me. This midfield right here,
exactly.
This triangle right here, this is nice. What I had before, I'm not too worried about. But this worries me. I'm not going to, like, Kudus in the middle would worry me so much more than Kudus on the left. So I hope to God that he does not listen to you.
He hasn't listened to me all season. I've been begging for this midfield throughout the whole season. Like, I think a lot of our fans have. I think a lot of our fans can see that Kudus Paquetá, and Alvarez all together. We're keeping the ball and we're creating constantly. And it's not like this is some just attacking midfield. Off the ball, Paquetá will still do his job defensively. He's just rash.
Yes.
But it's not like Alvarez and Rodriguez are rash and they're defensive minded. So it's not really going to make much of a difference. Like, if we're already leaking off the ball, you got to attack more on the ball. So I think you get the best out of them. And you got Somerville cutting in off the left with his right foot, which is what we've needed. And if you got Bowen, Kudus, and Somerville, it might not matter who's up front. It might not matter because you got all them 3 around him.
I was just about to say, not only that, like, even if Antonio does nothing, the best thing he could do is just keep the center backs occupied, and then Kudus had so much more space to, just come through the middle. And if Antonio obviously is, like, keeping this area occupied, Kudus could be, like, in this area. And this is where he's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Exactly.
So I hear frustration then in terms of Lopetegui and the way he's setting the team up. Dang, bro. Yeah. Honestly, like, this would be honestly, like, looking at this is worst case scenario. This is worst case scenario, I think, for us and for Chelsea. I think it's gonna be, at the end of the day, I think it's gonna be interesting. To be honest, I think a lot of this game, I see it being very much dependent on who scores the first goal, because whoever scores the first goal is then gonna force the other team to try to go for the game. Because I think if West Ham goes a goal down, I see you guys trying to throw the kitchen sink at trying to get a result. I think if we go down, you're going to see Maresca make a lot more of offensive subs, especially in the second half, right? Like, he's going to take off, like, Viega, he's going to take off maybe, like, an Enzo to put on, like, a Felix and a Madueke kind of thing. Like, we're also going to throw the kitchen sink in it, and at that point, I think that's where the other team he has the opportunity to on the counterattack just kind of dead the game, like a 2-0 kind of situation. Um, how do you see it? How do you see it playing out though?
Yeah, this is my thing. Like I've talked to about 20 Chelsea fans for the past 2 days, and they've all said the same thing about being afraid to come into our ground, but because of the style of play,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to get more chances. The way I see it, and I've been saying this, is I think Chelsea will win, and I see this being an end-to-end game because I just think we can create, and we've shown that we can create with the right players on the pitch, but we don't finish for whatever reason. Even against Manchester City, um, where we played against them, we were very comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
Even Wan-Bissaka was a superstar on that pitch, like the way he was performing, going forward and defending. And I think we were creating so many chances, putting some good moves together. But again, Bowen got completely nullified because he was playing wide left, and the Man City's defense, they put bodies on the line constantly, so it's very hard to get past them as it is. I see Chelsea like getting over the line. I think because our defense here, is a very good defense when the right players are playing. It's very organised, but we're gonna have a lot of turnovers because sometimes we do waste the ball. Sometimes there'll be times when we do waste the ball. We're still trying to get used to each other with this style of play. It'll just open us up for one of your attackers, and you guys got a lot of attacking power. Like Jadon Sancho against Soufal. I've been mentioning this for every Chelsea stream. That, like, I've been saying how good Jadon Sancho is for years, and I've been saying how bad Vladimir Soufal is for years. That gives me nightmares.
Soufal might get cooked. I'm not gonna lie. Soufal might get cooked, especially if you get the Cucurella overlaps with. Yeah, Soufal's gonna be like spinning. That brother's gonna be spinning.
Yeah, that's the thing. Soufal would be spinning anyway, in my opinion. I think Mudryk could get at him. I think
okay. I don't know about all that, bro.
No, do you know what it is? When we beat you 3-1, Mudryk was getting at Soufal. He just shot the ball off the pitch.
But that's what I mean. Like, Mudryk beats his man. I've seen Mudryk literally dribble an entire team from the middle of the pitch to get in front of goal and then send it to like outside the stadium to the it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, like obviously I don't rate him, but like with Soufal, like I don't rate. Like any winger could look good against Vladimir Soufal. With Jadon Sancho,
you said everybody's Neymar against Soufal.
Yeah, bro, Soufal will struggle 1v1 when there's no one there. That's what I've said with him. Like with Sancho, he can combine with players, he can find passes, he can create for himself, he can create for others. We saw it against Bournemouth. That chance for Nkunku. Listen, I don't know how Bournemouth did defend that properly, but with Jadon Sancho, he found that pass. He found it. Like, and I think he's just too creative for Soufal to handle it, because if he even gets touch tight with him, Sancho will find another pass way more quick. He will already see everything before Soufal sees the game. That's my problem with it. And with if it's Mavropanos and Soufal playing next to each other, that right side of defense, they've never played well together. Never. We've leaked so many goals from that side under both managers that we've had.
I think for me personally, I think what you guys are probably gonna do, considering, right, like I'm gonna put like the lineup that we most likely are gonna see back again. And where is he? Here. Something like this. Something like this, right? I think with this lineup, we're probably going to look to also like mostly attack down this left hand side, because I think this is obviously the weakest point here. And I think you guys are going to probably try to play heavy towards this side. And I think for us, you've talked to a ton of Chelsea fans, so I'm sure you know, like, worst case scenario for us is the Sassy starts here. Like, that's like best case for you. Worst case for us is the Sassy starts here. And I think if that happens, I think you guys are going to be attacking us. I think both teams are going to be heavy attacking down left hand sides.
For sure.
Trying to play down those sides. And again, it depends. Like, I think, especially in terms of like the physicality, especially if we see like Cucurella, Viega, Caicedo here in this area, you'd want to attack more down this side where you have like Palmer, and especially if the Sassi's there, like that's, you know, easier to get through than on this side. Either way though, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a rough game. I think it'll be a rough game. I think for Chelsea, it's going to be a statement win, just for the fact that first 5 games we've gotten decent results. We've already beat a bit of a bogey team in terms of Bournemouth, in terms of us not getting results against them. We finally, you know, get a win against Westham, which is something, West Ham away, which is something I think we've all been clamoring for since forever ago. Like literally, like the last time that we beat West Ham away, I was like going into college. Like, it's insane how long it's been since we've gotten a win at West Ham away. So I think for me, like, that's where I don't know, at least for Chelsea, this is a very big tipping point. especially in terms of where it leaves us on the table, the way we feel after the first 5 games under Maresca. So I think this is big for us. How would it be for West Ham, for example, to get a result out of this match?
Like, there's so much context with it as well, because obviously, as every Chelsea fan has said, like, you guys struggle to win here. Like, I've always said the home team always wins this fixture, because we don't win at Stamford Bridge. The only time we won at Stamford Bridge in my lifetime, I wanted the manager sacked, so I wasn't even happy at the time, so I didn't care. Like, so,
yeah, last season, like, Stamford Bridge for West Ham was not pretty. It was not pretty.
People know this, and Lewis has said this before. I went on Lewis's channel. I was just someone in the chat. I was like, Lewis, you're gonna beat us like 5-0 or 4-0 or something, and you guys did that. And I was trying to warn everyone, we're shit, so you guys are gonna beat us. But nobody wanted to listen to me because of Pochettino and that as well. But with this game, the tipping point would be for me is if we had that same lineup, let's say, like if we lined up with what was on screen, or Thomas Souček was starting, for example, someone who I've been very vocally frustrated with.
Yeah.
If we go with that lineup and we lose again, I don't think this manager's right. I don't think this manager has any excuses.
Wow. Okay.
And I'd be out, because patience will be given when it's trusted. Like, you got to give me a chance to give you a chance. Prove to me that you want a future here by starting players that you think should have a future here. If you think Thomas Souček has a future here, then you're lost. If you think Antonio has a future here, you're lost. Like, same with Mavropanos.
I hear you.
Like, if we win the game and we perform the same way we've been performing, then it's just another West Ham win against Chelsea at home where we've managed to get over the line somehow. If we play with a team that, similar to what I said, for example, we play you off the park, that's a statement that we need to carry on with. That's a statement that we're like, okay, this is our best team. This is why people have been worried about us. This is why we've been hyping ourselves up so much.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to go exactly how I said the first time. It's going to be that lineup, and we're going to lose the game. And I think I'm going to have another meltdown on my own channel, which is unfortunately. But I think unfortunately Chelsea end their streak against us of actually losing with fans there. And the thing is, West Ham Chelsea, like, I'm going to the game. Like, older West Ham fans and older Chelsea fans take this game seriously.
Yeah.
Like, match-going fans as well. Like, older West Ham fans won't have this. They won't have this, like, at the stadium. It could get toxic quicker than people think.
Really?
Because they want to give people a chance. They want to give people a chance. But match-going West Ham fans, they're savage. They don't take anything. But I like it because they have standards. It's not like online West Ham fans. There's not like Twitter West Ham fans. It's like real life West Ham fans actually care.
I think you need to have a bit of standards, especially considering the window that Lopetegui has been given. I think this is one of the biggest backings a West Ham manager has ever gotten in terms of coming through the door and getting in some insane signings through.
It's probably the biggest, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, again, I couldn't speak from history because, again, I haven't kept up with everything of it. But if you say that, then I believe it, because it's crazy. Like, I've never, I think, in my lifetime at least, seen a West Ham manager come in and you guys have the level of signings that you did, that I think are all solid players. It's not like some of them are just like some Fugazi signing, where like there were some good solid players in there. Man, I just think it's funny how similar it is in that case, because I think, for example, if we were at Stamford Bridge and went down early, you'd hear the Conor Gallagher chants immediately. As soon as the ball went in the back of the net, you'd hear the Conor Gallagher chants come out. So then I think that's interesting. Then you saying that is, I think I would wish that the team gets like an early goal, like kind of like how we did against like maybe Wolves, like 2 minutes in, like Jackson back post header. In terms of maybe that gives us the mentality edge as well. Then even more than what I said in my mind, where it's like the team who scores first probably has the best chance of winning the entire thing, if that's how like the West Ham environment is right now in terms of the fans and the stadium.
Yeah, true it is. It's not like that environment is how it is now, because they understood against Man City, okay, we performed well, we lost 3-1, but we gave it a go, and that is what we want to see on the pitch, the way we played football. Because we lost 3 Man City last season, but it was completely different with the way David Moyes.
The context.
It's just like West Ham fans can be patient. It's just this is against Chelsea, and we'll lose. And with the context with this, if we lose against Chelsea, we've lost 3 home games in a row. Oof. And people can be like, okay, it's Aston Villa, Man City, and Chelsea, but it's not like it's impossible to not at least win one of those games, or even
just get a draw in any of them. It's not impossible. I mean, the Man City one, obviously, granted, like I think a loss is expected, but at least getting a draw against Villa or a draw against Chelsea, it's like doable. It's doable. Go ahead.
Even because like a draw wouldn't be good enough for me, because we drew with Fulham. Because we drew with Fulham and it was a lucky draw, that's a game that if you want to be in Europe, you should be winning Fulham away. And you were talking about bogey team, like beating bogey teams. We've had the opposite happen to us, where we used to be a bogey team for Fulham and Aston Villa. But ever since Unai
Mm.
Emery came into Aston Villa, and last season with Fulham and this season, we haven't won against either of them. Like there was a point where they didn't beat us in 10 years, and now we're not beating them.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
so I feel like the opposite is happening to us.
I hear you, and right now, I'm looking at the right now I'm looking at the fixtures that West Ham have coming up, and this is the start of a run of games that you probably want some results from, right? Because you have Chelsea, and then you have
Yeah.
Liverpool in the cup, you have Brentford away, Ipswich at home, which again, if you guys don't get a result against Ipswich at home, I think it's I think Lopetegui's out the door at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah,
And
it
then
has to be.
The Tottenham away, Manchester United at home. Like again, it's in the terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not an easy run. Like you have maybe a couple
No.
games. Like I think Ipswich is the easiest one. I think Brentford away is not necessarily gonna be the easiest thing either. It's rough
Yeah.
for
We
Lopetegui, man.
struggle. Yeah, we struggle Brentford away. We struggle. We've only beaten them in the cup, in their stadium, and in pre-season. We haven't beaten them in the league at their stadium. They've beaten us every time. With Ipswich, it's just one of them games where West Ham lose to a promoted team. We don't. There's never, like, apart from last season.
Oh man.
Like even last season we drew 2-2 with Sheffield United and Burnley, which was I couldn't believe.
Wow, twins, bro,
wow,
twins. No, the head loss. We also drew,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's why we
you
didn't
got
get
Sheffield
to
United,
Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
thing with
man.
that was the thing with Moyes last season, and before that I could go through every season and pick out the
Mhm.
fact that we've lost to a promoted team. So Ipswich at home, they're not even playing bad right now, and they've got some good players as well. So even if they gel, they can catch us
I
on
hear
one of
you.
them bad days. Like Liverpool away at the cup, like I as soon as I saw the draw for that, I was like, oh, for God's sakes, Anfield again.
Yeah, for fuck's
So I
sake.
was just like,
This
I'm not
early
gonna
as
go
well
for the cup
is
today.
rough. Yeah, this
Yeah.
early in the cup.
Yeah, I just think he's going to struggle with those type of games. We're the type of team to lose every game and then go and beat Tottenham away because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like we're
Uh-huh.
that kind of team. We usually we usually turn up against Tottenham. So it's one of them ones where like Lopetegui has to just go on a run to prove that he's the right man for the job and to prove that he's the same level as like Unai Emery was for Aston Villa, which I don't think he is, but he has to prove
Yeah.
that he is.
I think it's rough. I mean, looking at it that way, taking off what you said, then I think the Fulham draw looks even worse. I think a win there was
Mm.
100% necessary, especially considering the run of games you're about to have.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it could look rough if you go loss, draw, and then a loss or a draw against Chelsea, get knocked out by Liverpool, going into Brentford away. That's looking scary for Lopetegui in terms of his stability at the
Yeah,
club,
for
man.
sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Wow, that's not the start I think anybody's expecting West Ham to have, to be honest.
No, not at all. Like, and that's the thing as well. Like, patience can be required, of course, but you gotta have the right man for patience. Like, and that's the thing. You gotta go on a run eventually. So if
Yes.
you don't beat Fulham, you gotta beat Chelsea, and if you don't beat Chelsea, you must win against Brentford because I've skipped
Mhm.
Liverpool in the cup because I know what's gonna happen. I know exactly what's gonna
Yeah.
happen there. But you skip that, you go Brentford away at a place where you've never won before. So eventually you got to go on a run, and I don't know whether this manager can do that. And the thing is, the problem is as well because it's the start of the season, and like we've had a good transfer window. A lot of the fans have been like, "No, but it'll come good eventually. Don't worry about this loss. We'll win the next game, and then we'll go on a run and patience and all that. You must give it time and all that. I can give something time if I can see what's going on. Like for context as well. Like I predicted us to finish 10th
Okay.
because I said that we won't start off well, but it will take time to gel, and we'll gel at the back end of the season where you
Mhm.
see the proper West Ham, and then we'll take that into next season,
Yeah.
and then we'll finish in Europe. Which we should be trying to finish in Europe every season
Mhm.
because of our stadium move from 2016. That should be the goal.
Yes.
But that's coming from me, someone who predicted to finish 10th. Now, the way I'm looking at us right now, it'll be hard for us to finish 10th if we keep performing like that.
Yeah.
Like the Fulham result and all of that stuff. Like if we're only scoring from transition but we're playing possession-based football, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like how
And
we
that's
doing that?
bro, and that's exactly the same thing I think we said about Poch. I think it was something I forgot the statistic, but it was awful. I think it was something like almost like 12, 13 games in, we were still on like 10, 9 points. Like it was horrific, bro. Awful. And
Yeah.
people were asking for patience, and it was the same thing. Like again, we're literally just playing off transition. We're drawing teams that we need to be winning against. We're losing games,
Mhm.
because there's no real system in play. And I think people were already saying like, no, Poch is not the coach, but obviously people were asking for patience. But again, we were saying like I think patience is earned. We haven't seen one good performance. And
No.
I think that's what West Ham, I think, is what you guys saying. Like a good performance, I think that results in a win. I think is a big thing, right? Like you want to have a good result and then feel good at the end of it. I think for us, that's why
Yeah.
um, some people were clowning some Chelsea content creators because they were saying that like the Wolves game was a statement win. It's like not a statement
Mm.
win to like the. It's not a statement win for like the Premier League, bro. It's a statement win in terms of Maresca's system being proven against a team that we
Yeah.
struggled. We lost both games last year against Wolves, home and
I
away.
remember, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think in sense of that, I think West Ham needs one of those. I think West Ham needs a game where you guys completely dominate. You guys get like a 4-0, 5-0, like something like that. I think that like it buys you more time than you understand. Because
Oh
fans look
yeah.
on that and they feel good after those type of games, and that buys you so much goodwill, so much goodwill.
Yeah. I think I was 9 years old the last time we scored more than 4 goals. I think the last time, and I'm 21. I'm 21. Like the last time we scored more than four
Yeah.
goals, I'm pretty sure was when we were in the championship. We were one of the best teams in the championship for that one
Uh-huh.
season with Sam Allardyce. Like we haven't scored more than 5 goals since.
Mhm.
We've beaten teams 4-0 occasionally, but
Yeah.
like we're set out with the players that we have. If Fulkirk is fully fit, if Kudus, Paquetá, and Bowen are played in the right positions, like we should be battering teams at times. We should be putting a statement up because if people are saying that West Ham have had one of the best transfer windows and are going under
Yeah.
the radar with the squad they have, we cannot be called entitled or anything like that to then also require some convincing wins. I would take a 3-0 win against anyone. Like I would take a 3-0 win and okay, we may have missed other chances. But I can see the intent of we're trying to put teams to the sword.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements from last season, but the bar isn't last season. The bar was so low that it was literally battering your feet. That's how low the bar was. Like,
And in terms of the
bar is
squad
so
you
low,
have
cannot be
now
compared
compared to last season, like I think it makes sense that you're not happy with what's going on. 100%.
Yeah, like, yeah. And obviously, I knew it was going to take time, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. Like, I thought we were going to just play the right players, and then it will come good eventually. But we're not even playing the right players. Like, the bench we had against Fulham was ridiculous. We had Carlos Soler on the bench, Tadibo on the bench, Paquetá on the bench, for example, Somerville on the bench. Those players shouldn't be on the bench. Those players have to start.
Yeah.
They should be guaranteed starts.
And again, like he, at least I guess somewhat of a positive is he recognized it immediately and subbed them on second half. But again,
Yeah.
why are you subbing them on second half? They should be starting. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he goes into this game or into even games in the future, not even just this game, like he can leave the gap and start Suchek and Antonio later on, and he still makes the same mistake, and we go through the same thing. We're pretty much watching the same game.
Yeah.
Then you learn from your mistake the previous game, but then didn't change it in future games and know not to line up with that lineup again. Because that's what Moyes did last season. He would address the mistake and then go out with the exact same lineup because of his favourites. This manager cannot have favourites in September. You've been in the job since June, July.
I hear you.
You
I
cannot
hear
have
you.
favourites already. Yeah,
That's
so
something
not
that I praise Maresca on is I think Maresca has shown that like he's willing to be ruthless. Like if you don't fit the system,
Yeah.
you're out, aka Sterling. He's gonna give you a chance. If you don't perform, you're not playing, aka Mudryk. He gave Mudryk a ton of chances. He even sunk it up in the Conference League. He pulled Mudryk second half Conference League. That's how you know you're just awful. Like he gave you
Yeah,
the
facts.
best chance possible to actually do something, and he didn't do it. And that's the same thing that happened in the Bournemouth game. Neto wasn't having a good game. He pulled Neto. Right? Put on Sancho, completely changed the game. Jackson was having a bad game, he put on Nkunku. Again, I think a lot of us wanted him to put on Nkunku earlier, but we got the win. And you know, at the end of the day, I think it's one of those things where, for example, if West Ham were to get a stinky 1-0, the results buy you time. That's how it is. The results
Yeah.
buy you time more than you understand. Even for example, even a club as big as Real Madrid, they have been playing disgusting, awful football. But at the end of the day, they're
Yeah.
still somehow finding ways to win. So they don't care. It buys you time to find out where the system works, where the weak points are. You need to see us. That all being said, I do see, like, I'm not necessarily as doomer as some of the other Chelsea fans, at least on the internet. I do think that we are well positioned to get a result out of this.
Yeah.
I think it's probably, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet again. Again, that last game was a miracle clean sheet. Like, that was completely down to Sanchez being amazing.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably going to be like a 2-1. I see it being a very, very close game. Very close game. How do you see it in terms of a prediction?
Yeah, I think the exact same. I've been predicting 2-1 Chelsea all day, pretty much. Listen, I would love to go off the stereotypes of the game and be like, oh well, we could keep up the same record that we have had against Chelsea for a very long time. But
Yeah.
records come to an end eventually. I just think 2-1 Chelsea makes sense in my opinion.
I hear you. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the preview. I appreciate you coming on.
Mm.
I followed West Ham for a bit, like when I was a kid. That's just because you guys signed Enter Valencia, like
Yeah, love that
years ago.
Valencia.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
signed them, and I like followed him because again, like there's not like past like the big Valencia, the one who played for like Manchester United. There hadn't really been any
yeah,
Ecuadorian players kind of making it onto the
mm,
scene and stuff.
yeah,
It was funny. Like I tell this story all the time, but I was literally a kid, and everybody in Ecuador was a Manchester United fan because Valencia was like the
mm.
biggest player there, so everybody's there. But as a kid, I hated the color red, so I was like, I don't want to support a team that had the colors red. I don't like the color red, so I was like, all right, I
Yeah,
need to support a team that has the color blue because you're a little kid. So my parents were like, okay,
yeah.
we want to get you a jersey. What do you want? I'm like, give me a Chelsea jersey, and it was so funny. It's like a Chelsea jersey. The Samsung was spelled incorrectly somehow. Like it was great.
Yeah, man.
It was great times. But yeah, I appreciate having you on the channel. Shout yourself out. Again, the socials, guys, everybody, the socials is also above him on his head, his Twitter and his YouTube. But again, shout yourself out. I'm assuming you're gonna be doing watch alongs, videos, but go ahead, shout yourself out.
Yeah, at GVO Mike's on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, but most importantly YouTube. I have a preview of this game on my channel at 10 p.m. as well, so make sure to come and join me for that after this stream. And yeah,
Listen, send me
thank
the
you for
link
having me on,
and
bro.
I'll redirect to it right now. Send me the link and people can just wait there for you to do the show. Yeah.
Alright, no problem. Where should I send it to you?
Uh,
On Twitter?
yeah. So send me on Twitter and I'll redirect when I end my stream.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
No problem.
perfect, man.
Thank you for having me on, bro.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Hopefully we're able to do this again for the reverse fixture.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah, I hope
sure.
you have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you. Hope your stream goes well. See you, brother. Peace
Thank
out.
you. In a bit.
All right, people. There we go. Thank you guys. Yeah, big up for everybody tuning in. This was a good match preview. That was a great match preview. Thank you. Again, big shout out to Mike's for coming on. I will be redirecting to him. Later on, he's gonna send it to me on Twitter right now, so I'm probably just gonna hit the redirect right now. Um, but yeah, let's see. We got. Let me see. What are the stats, bro? We're at 26 likes. Thank you everybody for 26 likes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, big up everybody. I'm not gonna end the stream just yet. Probably. Yeah, exactly. Casually. Smash those likes, people. Smash those likes. I appreciate everybody. We will see you tomorrow, Arsene. You will see me tomorrow. You will see me tomorrow. Come on, brother. Yup. I'm 5-0 Chelsea. Yo, that'd be a big win. Hopefully for 300 is saying 4-0. 5-0 Chelsea. We will be there. Yup, we will be there. And again, hold up. For everybody watching this stream, I'm gonna say it again. I said it at the end of the stream. Okay. First things first. I am a man of my word. I said when Nkuku scored the game winner, I would make an Nkuku background. The Nkuku background is made. I think it's pretty cold if I do say so myself. I'm saying this because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be releasing one of the backgrounds that I have created, right? So whether it be the Nkuku one, the Caicedo one, the Reese one, the Palmer one, or the Three Lions one, I will be releasing one of these. I'm gonna put it on wallpaper. I'm gonna put it in the Discord as a video. I'm gonna put it as a photo, so you guys can do whatever you want with it. Whatever you want with it. I'll be releasing one. The community will vote on it, and I'll release one of them fully, so people can just have it. But we have to get to 1,000 subscribers for that. So get me to 1K, and I'll release one of the backgrounds for everybody to use however they want. However they want. I'm gonna check real quick to see, first of all, to get the redirect set up. But the second thing I want to check is to see if there's been any updates for Chelsea. No updates, but it has been since 2017, the last time we won with fans in the ground against West Ham. Said will be in tears tomorrow. Sancho will perform. Yep. Yeah, 8 more subs, people, to 550. If you're in here and you're not subbed, I would greatly appreciate a sub. I want to see us break this by Monday. Yes, 100% Morning Zombie. I would gladly want to see that happen. 550 people. We're again on the road to 1K. On the road to 1K. Let's see. And I will be doing a video as well. We're going to this community. Big up everybody for tuning in. Yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna be doing a lot more. Videos like this in terms of looking at potential players that we might sign for the January window. I'm gonna be doing a lot more streams with other people for match previews. I'm gonna try to find the fan for anybody. To see if I can have them on to speak about a match previews. I think that's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna be releasing a video after the West Ham game. Looking over to the YouTube channel. I'm releasing a video to the YouTube channel, looking at the first 5 matches. We're gonna look at the first 5 matches, trying to, you know, seeing how looking at other potential, looking at the first 5, just analyzing, looking at the future, seeing how what players worked, what players didn't, what game went well, what game didn't go well. So keep an eye out for that on the channel after the West Ham game. Keep an eye out for that. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow, of course. If Chelsea's on a striker in January, what's next for Jackson / Nkuku? Nothing else. I think Nkuku, like, he's playing as a 9, but it's obviously not his preferred position. Palace versus Man U, 4-0 Palace. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth win 1-0. Hopefully, big up. Yep. I appreciate it. Please just don't lose and ruin our weekend. And no, not only that. Hold up. Not only is it a thing, not only is it a thing where, here we go. Okay, not only is it a thing where we're looking at a potential, loss in terms of we're gonna lose. We're the first game, bro. We're the first game of the week. We cannot lose, bro. We can't lose. For our own well-being, for the well-being of all Chelsea fans, we can't be the first loss, bro. We need to take a win and keep it stepping, and then kick back and enjoy the rest of the week. You gotta just kick back, hit a quick kickback, and enjoy the rest of the week. Big up everyone. 3-1 Chelsea. Yep, we surely win. Yep, hopefully we win. Hopefully we win. I agree. But yeah, alright, I set the redirect up. So when this stream ends, you'll be redirected to Mike's stream. When you get redirected to Mike's stream, do me a favor, hit the like button on the stream. Type in the chat, say RSM TV raid, hit the like button. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We had around 200 people come into the stream, so I really appreciate you guys. 25 likes on the video, amazing. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Again, everybody hit your prayers. In a couple hours, we will be seeing Chelsea versus West Ham away. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I hope you have a really good rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out, everybody.